Oh man, I didn't think I would ever make this one, but I think we need to make it. If I were to start coding today, how would I start? How would I go about it? Where would I begin? Let's get into it. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll be honest with you guys, I get this question quite often. I've seen people respond to it on YouTube, on podcasts, and conferences. How would you learn to code if you were to start today? So let me first start off by saying this is a great time to get into software development. There's so much opportunities, there's so many organizations that need tech and they need it bad. And the money is out there. I mean, the reality is a lot of you guys are getting into software development because if you hop on YouTube, if you go on Google, if you just do any type of search and you're looking up what kind of money can you make in IT and software development, like the numbers are ridiculous. I mean, Facebook's out here handing out sign-on bonuses like you're an NFL or NBA player. I mean, it just, software development is just crazy. I actually had a conversation with a friend and he was arrogant enough, but like, I couldn't argue with him on this one. So check this out. My friend comes to me, he's like, hey man, I'm thinking about going to Apple. I was like, oh wow, like, did they like contact you? Did you submit it? Like, what kind of position? He was like, no, I haven't applied yet. And I sat there, I thought to myself, what do you mean you're gonna go to Apple if you haven't applied? He was like, well, come on, man, I'm a software developer. Like, they have to have something for me, right? Like, I'm good. But this guy sat there, I thought to myself, like, man, I guess like it is kind of that world, though. You know, like when I look at the NBA and I follow like these great players. I don't know if anybody's a basketball fan, but you guys know I am. And I just think to myself, they get millions of dollars to go play in different cities to put a ball in a hoop. And I'm like, man, that really is the life, right? And now I feel like some people in tech are in the same boat. There's like some articles out there where people were saying if you got an artificial intelligence 10 years ago, today you could probably be making what an NFL player makes. And not like a rookie NFL, like I am a superstar, borderline all-star, whatever the case, pro bowler, whatever the case is. So it's a great time. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It is a great time to get into software development. Now, some of you come to my channel and some of you come to the podcast and you just want the direct answer. Caleb, I want to get into software development. I want the opinionated response. How would you do it if you would start over today? And of course, I'm going to give you the short, concise answer here. And then if you want to hear more, of course, check us out on the podcast as you got the full length, full deep breakdown of everything I would tell you to not only break into this world, but take it to the next level. But the first thing I would do is first, have an internal conversation with yourself. Yes, let's start with the mental aspect. Why are you getting into software development? Because if it's only for the money, coding might not be for you. And there is some really great YouTube videos out there that call out why software development, why coding, why programming, all that might not be for you. But assuming you've gone through that and you know this is for you, I would ask, what type of development do you see yourself enjoying the most? And really, once you come to an answer to that, then it's much easier to tell you what programming language, because you might be entrepreneurial like me and want to, like, looking back, I wish I would have done more mobile development. And you might have a whole bunch of ideas, and I would tell you, learn Swift, learn Objective-C. But maybe you want to go into data, and I would tell you, well, you probably want to learn Python. Or maybe you just like, what's the one thing that like no one ever learns? I would tell you learn SQL. And you'll be able to go pretty much 90% of enterprises across America. So there's a lot of different ways to answer this question, but the general purpose answer, in my opinion, when I'm telling people what programming language to start off with, is I always suggest Python, Java, and JavaScript. And I put it in that order, and here's why. Python, to me, I feel like if I don't mention Python in this video, then people are going to be like, he doesn't know code, because Python's clearly the best one. It's something about Python. It has like this cool factor tag to it. It's established. It has a great community, but there's also a lot of possibilities with Python. I love the syntax. Some of the libraries are cool. If you're doing web development, like you can build a full stack app. Python, Django, you can get it deployed out there. Like I've seen some people do some really cool stuff in Python, and you can also go into other areas, machine learning, artificial intelligence. So Python is a great one. Also, people would tell you if you are interested in working at a FANG company, Google, Facebook, any of those, you know, the companies that are giving you the signing bonuses. If you are interested in any of those, a lot of people will tell you to go into like those technical interviews. They always suggest Python. Again, going back to the syntax, going back to the libraries available to it. So it's a great general purpose language. But I also tell people Java and JavaScript, and I always mention Java because a lot of my friends want to do mobile development, or they want to land an enterprise job, or they want to build something from scratch. And Java to me is one of them where it's like, hey, not everybody's on an iPhone. You actually have more people on Android. And there's still two birds, one stone. Like there's a lot of applications built in Java. Now, of course, you can go into Kotlin. You could be more performant, and that could be like the, of course, like the future thing. I wouldn't necessarily suggest Kotlin as the first language to somebody, but I would still suggest Java simply because if you work at an older organization, they probably have Java. If you're working at a newer organization, they probably have something Java with Spring, Java with JBoss. I mean, it's just, even though the popularity of Java is dying down, people still use it, and it's in so many places, there's no way it's going away immediately. And actually, the one thing I would always advise to someone, I'd be like, don't be afraid to learn like older Java, because actually it can make you more valuable at certain organizations. Lastly, I'm always going to mention JavaScript. It was really my first language, and I kind of hate it now, but it's like a love-hate relationship because I love that it's continuing to grow. I still love React. I'm playing with Angular now, and you know, JavaScript, anywhere you go, you're going to probably run into it. Most people want to build whether it's a UI for your website, your portfolio site, the website for your company, your own company, the enterprise, whatever the case is, there's probably some JavaScript somewhere. The days of like doing your front end with like some Java backend tool, or you know, something like, people still have those out there, but for the most part, people have adopted React, Angular, Vue, Svelte, all these frameworks that are constantly coming out that's supposed to make the UI experience much better, both for the user and the developer. And JavaScript is just that language to me. It's just not going to go away, and so there's nothing that hurts you learning it. And for some people, it's amazing how like it tricks them up, because there's some like unusual things about JavaScript compared to like Java and Python and other languages. But like I said, you're pretty much going to run into it everywhere, so it doesn't hurt to learn, and there's a lot of great resources out there. Yeah, let's get into that. Resources. Now, when it comes to resources, there's plenty out there, both paid, free, and everything in between. For me, I started off with Codecademy, and then I felt like I went from Codecademy to Team Treehouse. And then from Team Treehouse, I started looking at Free Code Camp, because Free Code Camp seemed to have like these all-day 2-hour courses, and that's when I started getting into YouTube coding. Then I started watching guys, because I was a JavaScript person. I was trying to learn JavaScript at the time. I really watched a lot of like Fun Function. And then I was into W3 schools. And then I moved over into Code Wars and Tuts Plus. And then I think at that point I was looking at like individual people, so like Scotch.io, Design Code was another one. And then I believe at that point I was in tutorial hell, and even though I was finding other ones, I really started just going back to like the developer docs, and I started challenging myself, saying like, okay, I've seen plenty of tutorials, how do I build something? And it's weird to even ask that question, because you've watched people build, like, in terms of portfolio, I probably had like 40 things in a portfolio, but like none of them meant anything to me because it was just somebody else's code and I was just watching them do it. And then maybe I changed the author to like Caleb King. It's like, hey, look, I did something and copy and pasted my homework, right? So here's something that's going to really make you stand out compared to your peers if you are getting into coding for the first time. You want to build something that's meaningful to you, and here's why I say it has to be meaningful, is because you'll put more time and more energy and effort into something that you care about, that you see that has potential. It doesn't necessarily have to be for monetization, but something that you are proud to show off, to show your friends, something like a true project, something you're very proud of. Now, for me, I'm not gonna lie, my very first true project wasn't something I was in love with, which is why I eventually stopped. But it was something I was willing to commit to. And if you want to hear more about that, check us out over on the podcast, and I'll tell you all the details of what that project was, how I ended up selling it, and then how I ended up turning out to be one of the better things I've done in my career. But I digress. Like most people tell you, when it comes to programming, you want to get your hands on the keyboard and you want to build something that's meaningful to you. And I always suggest to people you should at least have a portfolio website and at least maybe a mobile app. And they don't have to be fancy. Even like a simple to-do list is something out there. At least you can show off and show me that you built and done something. Because nowadays, when you are trying to apply for jobs, especially with things being remote, you are having to find ways to not only represent yourself, but like really represent your brand. Who are you? What have you done? What have you built? And if you're newer to software development, that is one big piece of advice I would give. Is start your portfolio, but like build it with intention. And understand that this is a representation of you as employers, hiring managers, and any other business opportunities are going to look at what you've done and make some type of evaluation on it. I think the last thing I want to leave you guys with is challenge yourself to 100 days of code and try to do it twice in a year. If you are new to software development, if you're within year 1 to 3 of software development career, I would tell you 100 days of coding and do it twice a year with a break. There's no, I mean, you might be able to go 365. I don't know anybody who's been able to do that because I have a life and I'm sure you do as well. But the goal for the most part is just to get muscle memory and for you to get some consistency. And if you can do 100 and even break them up, you know, if you can get 50-50, that's even a win. But the goal, the 100-day programming, really for me started making things click, because too often I think people watch a video, get passionate, start coding, next day it's off, maybe another day comes by, next thing you know you're 2 days gone and you haven't written anything. You have to be consistent and you have to get the muscle memory to build up, and that would be something I think can demonstrate your mastery of software development. Speed is a representation of mastery when it comes to software development. So not only can you solve the concept, but like how fast can you solve the problem that's... Oh, and one more thing, mentality. The mental aspect of software development and the people mental aspect of software development. Software developers usually don't have the best soft skills. They don't communicate the best, and communication is a spectrum, right? Some people are fast, but they don't have good self-awareness. Some people are just weird altogether. Whatever the case is, you're going to meet some interesting characters in the software development, in your software development journey, and you're going to meet some people who are doubters. You're going to meet some people who are going to make you feel like you don't know anything. You're going to meet some people who make you feel secluded at times. Imposter syndrome is going to come about. All that is natural, and my best advice for you is just take it in and make note of it, but don't let it derail you, because a lot of the times for this industry you just have to be consistent. You have to communicate well. You want to be a positive person. Like it's amazing to me how like things can be so complicated. We as humans, I think, make things complicated, but really for this one, what I'm trying to highlight is you know, keep going. Don't let people derail you, because it's going to happen. People are going to, and again, it's not going to be intentional either. It might just be like, hey, maybe this isn't for you, and that can throw your whole week off. So take those things with a grain of salt, but don't let it completely derail you. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. If you want to hear more and go into the behind the scenes of this episode, go check us out on the People in Tech podcast, as we're trying to release weekly episodes with the videos we're dropping here as well. That's all I got for you. Peace.